What up? So today I'm gonna show you how you can farm two perps platforms for free. Yep, that's right, completely free, and that is with the Delta strategy. I know you have heard the strategy before, maybe you kind of understand how it works, but I want to go more in depth with it and also show you a trick by using funding. Because I know that some of you might come here saying, oh, but Max, even if I don't lose money, I'm gonna be paying a few bucks in fees. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna show you the right strategy for you to do it for free, because this is exactly what I have been doing and it is working. So I'm just gonna show you right here. Also, another thing is, I've seen some people saying that we are usually losing money on perps, which is completely false, because if you look back, we had Evo, Particle, Hyperliquid, BSX, which I took like 4 trades on that platform and I made over $100. It is not the greatest airdrop, but for 4 trades, that's completely fine. HMX, which I took maybe 5 or 7 trades and I made like $700, $800, which, by the way, HMX will be now a rebranding or rebranded into Desk. So that's why I'm doing it. There are multiple ones that we have made some money. The thing is, you have been allocating all your funds into just one single airdrop, into one single project, trying or thinking that you know how to trade, then you lose $2,000 on a single project, it sucks, and then you receive $100 back. But guess what? If you can actually farm them and only lose maybe 10, 25 bucks using Delta and farming maybe 6 different projects, even if half of them sucks, even if 70% of them are bad, you can still receive 1, 2, 3 and then make some money out of them. So if you want to follow through, cool. If not, great. Try to continue to trade and see how far you can go, because I know I have got liquidated many times. And by the way, I have been trading for the past 10 years and still to this day, sometimes I get fucked. So in trading, not on the other, So first one, I'm gonna show you the strategy using 2 platforms, because that's where I already have a position open, but this works for any other platform. I have Desk here and also Lighter. Lighter currently is in a closed beta, so unfortunately I don't have codes. Maybe by next week I should have some, and then I'm gonna do a proper video on it. But for now, you guys can just use Avantis, Backpack, Hyperliquid, many other platforms. But unfortunately, Lighter is not available for everybody. Unless you have an invite code, then for sure go ahead and use it. So here on Desk, I took along for 0.25 Ethereum. My PNL is 30, obviously it is changing. And then my funding fee, which is the borrowing fee, because I'm using leverage, so you do have to pay for some borrowing fee, is 15 cents at the moment. Then if we go to Lighter, my position is again the same, 0.25, same PNL, because I took both positions at the same time. And then my funding fee is actually positive. How come? Ooh, that's magic. Well, here's the thing. If you look up here, you will see that the funding is positive, right? And also here is positive. The only difference is that on Desk, it is more like for dummies, because they also added the plus and also using the color code green, just to make sure that you're understanding that it is positive, but it is the same. So if you look here, if it is not negative, if there is no negative sign in front of it, then it is a positive funding. How funding works is that since you're borrowing the fees, not the fees, the money, to take a leverage position, you will need to pay a small percent every few hours just because you have your position open. But now, here's the trick to kind of understand it. If funding is positive, just think in reverse. So if funding is positive, if I take a long, I'm gonna be paying the fees. For me to get paid, just think in reverse, I need to take a short. So here it is positive, I take a short to get paid myself, okay? Here it is also positive, so if I take a long, I end up paying the fees. So it is the same, positive, long, the same, up, so I'm paying the fees, okay? So how I can get some funding, how it can work in my advantage is that Here on desk, it says 0.0013% every hour. Annualized, it is 10%. If I go here, you can see that it says 0.0065%. So it is actually higher on this platform. And then annualized, it is 56%. So it is 5 times higher than on desk. So which one I want to be paying the fees for? Obviously the one that is the lowest, desk. So I take a long on desk and you can see my funding fees, 15 cents. I take a short here because funding fee is positive also, but it is higher, so I can get paid more. Here it is 56 cents. So effectively, I'm making a little bit of money. This position have been open for maybe 12, 14 hours, give or take. And obviously it is not a massive funding because this is just 600 bucks when it comes to the size, okay? But still, if we do the math, on lighter, I don't have to pay to open a position. So it has the same option as Avantis, which you guys can just use up here. And then you're not paying anything. So if I do this, scroll down, you will see that I would be paying $6 to open that position and then also another $6 to close it. But if I use beta, I'm not paying any fees. So I can effectively also just use Avantis to do a delta strategy. So here it is free. And then here, if we go to history, trade, these are my 0.25. So in total, 0.25. I paid 16 cents here and then 3 cents. So in total, I paid 20 cents. So if we do the math, I have 15 here negative plus 20 negative that I have paid to open my position. Bless me. And here I'm up 56 cents. So in total, do the math, 20 plus 15, 35. And then here, 56. I will also need to pay another 20 cents to close my position on desk whenever I need to close it. So in total, it would be 55 cents, which I'm left with 1 cent. There you go, completely for free. Now, I know that shit might happen, that you are unable to close your position at the same time. You might lose a few bucks here and there. But then again, dude, trust me, it is way better for you to lose $1-2 on one position or on the entire strategy than trying to take a long and then the market just goes down and then you lose 500 bucks. Trust me, with 500 bucks, there is a lot of delta that I can do. Because if I'm paying, let's say, $1 on each platform, even $2 on each platform, I need to take a shit ton of trades for me to finish that 500 bucks. So that's why I say you can just set up a budget for each platform. I'm not saying you should go crazy with each one of them, like burning $1,000. No, if you have $100, $200, you do some leverage, buy a 10x that is $2,000 in volume. You do $2,000 in volume on the other platform. You try to use funding in your favor, and then you end up paying nothing, and you added $2,000 in volume on each platform. Pretty good. You repeat the process. Let's say you get fucked up, and then you lose $1. That's fine. You only lost $1. What you need to be thinking is, I'm just gonna set up a budget. If I lose $25 on this platform, I'm done with it. Once I lose $25 on this platform, I'm also done. So whatever I get out of that $25, I'm good. But also if I don't make money, I'm only losing $25. So this is the strategy that I'm using from now on, unless I do want to take some trades, which usually I just do it on Hyperliquid. Like whenever I want to trade, that's where I go and trade. But if I want to farm a project that is a perp platform, I would just use some delta strategy, try to get some funding, and then I end up paying nothing. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, just let me know in the comment section and hopefully I can answer your questions. But just test it out. You know, you don't need to go crazy with it. Test it out with $10 on one platform, $10 on another platform. Leave it open for quite some time and then see with how much money you end up with on each platform. And obviously, I might end up here negative 30 bucks, and here 30 bucks, 29 bucks. What would happen is that maybe after a week, I will need to remove my profits from desk and then just send it back to Lighter so I can start over, because it happens many times. So for example, I got liquidated on Lighter. I think it was for maybe 60 bucks or something like that. But if you look here, I have a P&L of 64 bucks. So it is basically the same, you know? So I lost my money on Lighter, but I also took a long on Avantis, which effectively I just made my money back from Avantis. Just need to remove my funds and then send it back to Lighter. As simple as that. So I'm basically not really losing money. So hopefully this can help you out. Again, the perps that I'm currently using are just Lighter, Desk, Backpack, Hyperliquid. Am I missing one? Avantis. I think these are the ones. I'm gonna add the links in the description for them just in case you want to add another one to your list. But once I'm done with Avantis, which is by the end of this month, then obviously I'm gonna be looking for more. So yeah, any questions, any doubts, just let me know. Peace out.